Good evening, good evening. I know we're all excited. If we could take our seats, we'll get started with the March meeting for the Franklin Special School District. April, oh gosh. April, take that back. All right. Dr. Farmer, would you start us off, please, sir?
Good evening, everybody. You will, the folks outside, if y'all tell them we're going to start.
It's like church, only seats down.
Y'all will join me for the pledge. We'll go ahead as everybody else gets in and do the pledge. Thank y'all for being here tonight. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Quick moment of silence, please. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Farmer. All right, tonight we have several recognitions and good news awards that we're excited about at this time of the year. And so we're going to get started, and several of us will be presenting those. I'm going to start with the recognitions for our good news awards. Let's see if I can get this. Dr. Snowden to come forward. We're going to start off with the Middle Tennessee Vocal Association Elementary Honor Choir. We're going to call your name, so if y'all are here, come on in. Here we go. Congratulations to the 28 Freedom Intermediate School students who were selected to perform as part of the MTBA Elementary Honor Choir, which represents grades 4 through 6. Approximately 600 students from all over Middle Tennessee auditioned for the Honors Choir, with only 130 students selected to perform. For the 5th year in a row, Freedom Intermediate had more students selected to the choir than any other school in the region. Thanks to Candace Adams of Freedom Intermediate for preparing the students for this prestigious event held on January 18th at Hermitage Hills Baptist Church. FSSD students who participated in the MTBA Elementary Honors Choir were, y'all ready? From Freedom Intermediate, Ella Wilsey. Kaiten Nixon. Emmeline Odom. Bailey Minor. Caroline Orr, Avery Smith, Katie Magara, Caitlin Ferguson, Carter Miller, Finley O'Shea, Savannah Stevens, Paola Rodriguez, Chloe Hamill, Gemma Ives, Audrey Henrick, Zoe Lupke, Julia Grayson, Eileen Ziegler, and Molly Ziegler. Kaylin Cutsinger, Abigail Queeson, Emily Williams, Grayson Egany, Maddie Scales. Alexandra Morris. Avery Cahill. Josie Fitzgerald. And Everly Bonilla.
This is a big group. So one week at 5th grade in the front and 6th grade in the back. I don't know.
So we've got a lot of 5th graders. They're mostly 5th graders. This group. How about if you're taller, stand in the back, and if you're not as tall, stand in the front.
That's it.
The board would like to hear a few notes. Do you have a few notes? Do you have a few? Oh, some other time. Okay. All right. Just a request. All right. We have 3 others we'd like to recognize as well. Katarina Santiago. Elise Sweet. And Anna Myrick. The FSD was also represented in the MTBA Middle School Honor Choir, which is composed of middle school students from throughout the Middle Tennessee area. 12 Freedom Middle 7th and 8th grade students auditioned and 3 8th grade students were selected. Freedom Middle Choir Director Erica Darr noted that the audition process was very challenging this year and required students to sing 2 audition pieces, one in English and one in Latin. Like the elementary honor choir, the middle school honor choir also performed at the Harpeth Hills Baptist Church on the eve of January 18th. Congratulations to these 3 on this prestigious accomplishment. Next, we're going to ask Ms. Barker to present some Good News Awards.
Good evening. Okay, so if I call your name, please come and stand up here until I'm all done reading and we've taken our photos. There's 3 that I would like to recognize tonight. Eli Miller, Beckham Simmons, and Jordan Davis. Tonight we're recognizing these 3 Liberty Elementary School students who placed in the top 3 in each of their grade levels for the Tennessee Art Education Association and Tennessee Department of Education's first inaugural Stars Elementary Art Exhibition. They will be recognized at an official reception at the State Museum on April 16th. Their work is on display right now through May 22nd at the Tennessee State Museum and may be seen on the museum's website. Kindergarten artist Eli Miller and first grade artist Beckham Simmons both placed first in their grade divisions, and second grade artist Jordan Davis placed second. Congratulations to their art teacher, Lauren Cochran, for guiding them in their artistic accomplishments. We are very proud to have them represent their school and our district so well in the State Museum. And now I'm going to show you their pieces. This one's Eli's piece, kindergarten, first place. This one's Beckham's, first grade, first place. And this one's Jordan's, second grade, second place. Way to go, kiddos. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now,
something we look forward to every year because this is just definitely so important to the board is our top 40 volunteers. So we're going to let Ms. Helena Bell and Ms. Robin Newman proceed with that.
We are very pleased to honor our Franklin Special School District top 40 volunteers for the 2021-22 school year. This group is comprised of the top volunteers at each school. By school, they are, for Franklin Elementary, Nicole Clark, Deanna Cruiser, Kathy Shrunk, Kelly Sweeney, I don't think Kelly's here tonight, and Aria Winthrop. For Johnson Elementary, oh, sorry. Congratulations. But stay close because I think you're going to do a big picture at the end, outside. Okay. For Johnson Elementary, Alice Barnes, Betty Bringer, tell me how to pronounce it. So Brenniger. Okay. Betty Brenniger, thank you. Sue Carter. Amanda Ledane. And Holly Spain. For Liberty Elementary, Adrienne Barclay. I don't think she's here tonight. Oh, yes, she is. Okay. Katie Fine. Richard Hunter. Amy Mallard. And Katie Swafford. For Moore Elementary, Bethany Dixon, Mary Smith, Mary Beth Stahl, Jennifer Thorington, and Christy Von Drill.
Before we announce the rest, I just want to say, as we've already said on behalf of the board, this is such a great night for us. Without parent volunteers, our schools would not be what they are. So I'm just saying it from all of us. We so appreciate all of you that are here. We know there are other parents who volunteer, but just thank you, thank you, thank you. Not all communities have such great parent support, so I just want to say that before I announce the rest. If your name was announced already, some of you are getting announced twice, so please come back up when I say your name again. From Poplar Grove Elementary, we have Kate Habeger, Shay Hall, not here, I don't think. They're so tired from all their volunteering, see? Rachel Lovett. Good. Kaylee Prince. And Sarah Werner. Now from Freedom Intermediate, we have Jenny Davis. Amanda Ledane. Deborah Myrick. Caitlin Newman. And Katie Swafford. From Freedom Middle, we've got Elizabeth Bledsoe. Christina Changas. I said that right. Jennifer Dilling. Hattie Kissel. And Deborah Myrick. You need to come back up if you're here. Is Deborah Myrick here? Oh, okay. Okay, last but not least, Poplar Grove Middle. We've got Jenny Bear. Lindsay Bentley. Jessica Casalia. Christy Pauley. And Susan Phelps.
Susanna, you want a picture of the whole group?
You know, I think we're just gonna do a creative collage.
Okay.
All right, thank you. As Robin noted, we are so proud of all of our parents, those who volunteer and those who were here tonight, so very appreciative. Thank you. Before we get into the next item, which is public input, we're going to take a few minutes, just take a break, so if you need to dismiss and go do other things, we'll allow you that.
system.
Yeah, the mic's a little kind of quiet, so I'm trying to.
How's that? Really? Is it making noise? Like Elvis up there to see me?
We'll let you get back.
All right.
And you told him, I didn't have a chance to tell him, but Thursday night, Franklin Theater, you would have guessed, you'll be there.
I'll be there.
Yeah, thank you all.
All right. Is there anyone for public input tonight? Anyone for public input? Yeah.
I think it's on purpose. My last chance to get the mic.
It's on.
It's on?
There you
Yeah,
go.
now I can, okay. Let me get my little notes out here. As I said, I may be jumping the gun on this, but it might be my last time to make a little trouble. And it's about EPIC that has been blocked from teachers being able to use it. And I have my notes here. Just EPIC is mostly a resource that teachers use to supplement their classroom and school libraries. It allows teachers to differentiate instruction for a variety of learners. For example, one of the FSSD benchmark assessments is the Reading Renaissance STAR test. The winter benchmark showed that I had students reading from a 1.5 level to a 4.9 level, and I teach second grade. All of these kids are in the same classroom, and they're both in second grade. EPIC can help with the resources both of these kids need. And here's my show and tell. Here are some of the examples to show you the difference in reading levels. This is a book that's like 1.5. It's a little below reading second grade level. Here's one that is 4.4, Charlotte's Web. Then I have a boy wanting to read these, The Chronicles of Narnia, in second grade, and he's doing well with them. Now, of course, we wouldn't use these on EPIC, not chapter books anyway. But sometimes teachers assign the books on the same topic at different levels for children to read in school. There are books for struggling readers that read and highlight text for them so they can still get the information. Teachers choose books to project on the Promethean board as a whole class to read or as a teacher read, especially since COVID when we couldn't gather on the carpet before. And to be honest with you, it is very difficult to project a book on the Promethean board with all the glare and stuff. EPIC helped us teach through COVID protocols. Books could be assigned to read at home. The school version of EPIC is only available during school hours. I know some parents are concerned about books that they do not want their child to read. I would be the same way. I'm so old, I'll remember film strips. When I taught kindergarten, there were some teachers who wanted to show a film strip, a derogatory film strip, Little Black Sambo. Well, that didn't happen. But I think those parents need to make their choices known to their child's teacher and librarian so their wishes can be respected. It seems to me like blocking over 40,000 titles is like burning down a whole library because you don't like a few books. And that's all I want to say right now, but thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Is there anyone else for public input? Not, we'll declare that public input is closed. Thank you. All right, we have reports, discussions. Dr. Decker.
Thank you, sir. It is my great pleasure tonight to illuminate with the Teaching and Learning Spotlight the building level instructional technology leaders, and I'll refer to them so it's a little bit shorter as BLITLs from this point on. The instructional technology specialists and the teaching and learning team as a whole are always searching for ways to enhance the manner in which we serve educators and students with regard to technology and its integration with instruction, as well as to build capacity and grow leaders. A prime example of these strategies is the BLITL program, which had its inaugural year in 2019-2020. Each BLITL is empowered to share research-based strategies for the integration of instructional technology and district-supported high-quality instructional materials, known as HQIM, with teachers and staff in his or her own school. These individuals work closely with the instructional technology specialists to keep the FSSD Reach 2024 strategic plan goal of preparing students for college and career readiness at the forefront of their endeavors. During the last two unusual, to say the least, school years, the expertise and support offered by the BLITLs became even more valuable as they worked through new and unforeseen issues and situations alongside teachers and administrators in the midst of an English language arts textbook adoption with abundant digital components, no less. The BLITLs provide professional learning on topics such as our video conferencing resources, Zoom and Screencastify, all components of Google Suite, and of course, district-adopted resources in all content areas. Further, they embody the definition of continuous learner by themselves participating in 2 days of professional learning presented by the instructional technology specialists every year, and 5 hours of professional learning around a district-adopted resource of their choice. They address all pieces of the instructional technology puzzle, event coordination, district implementations of curricular materials and assessments, and technology integrations. The BLITLs have a critical part in communicating school site level recognitions of both students and teachers, as well as instructional technology related events and activities. They are indispensable with regard to their coordination of the completion of building level requirements for common sense school certification. The FSSD proudly holds the district common sense certification, signifying our commitment to providing safe and innovative spaces for students to thrive as they utilize technology while ensuring excellence in teaching and learning for all. Just to give you a little snapshot of what their work looks like, at a September 2021 collaboration, the BLITLs gathered for a day of learning and the sharing of knowledge. Action plans to meet the expectations of the position were discussed, and then the group delved into district-adopted HQIM, all kinds of acronyms tonight, my apologies, the technology resource approval process, and essential information for teachers and parents. Finally, time was allotted to share best practices and learn from each other's experience. Most recently, on March 4th, the BLITLs and the instructional technology specialists met with the primary purpose of engaging in professional learning for technology resources. Each BLITL presented a brief session that they have implemented or plan to use at their own school, and they received feedback from the group. All of the BLITLs have access to each presentation, so they may turnkey them as needed. So truly learning from each other's expertise. And now I am so happy to actually introduce two of our building level instructional technology leaders. They're going to speak to you a little bit about their role. First, we are going to hear from Liberty Elementary. She's a first grade teacher in addition to her role as a building level instructional technology leader, Ms. Katie Giles.
Hello. Hi, my name is Katie Giles, and like she said, I teach first grade at Liberty Elementary. I've been the building level instructional technology leader at LES since the inception of the role 3 years ago, and I'm so honored to talk to you today about this fantastic program. I wouldn't characterize myself as the most techie teacher in the school, but I do appreciate this opportunity to serve in this role because my passion is really in helping other teachers. This role has allowed me to teach my colleagues and feel like I'm affecting numerous classrooms for the better, not just my own. And then at the same time, I'm brushing up on the latest and greatest in instructional technology, so it's a win-win. I really thank you for believing in this program as a way to build leadership capacity in teachers like me that are looking for ways to reach beyond the walls of our classrooms. One of the most gratifying professional learning sessions I led was actually during the 2020-2021 school year. And yes, I'm sure you're thinking of all of the challenges that year brought, and you wouldn't be wrong. Since I've been the building level technology leader, instructional technology leader, there hasn't been really a normal school year. But I think that that's exactly where those of us in this role have really been able to help out the most. So before school began that year, 3rd and 4th grade teachers learned that they would be beginning the school year by teaching remotely. This was really overwhelming for some of our teachers as they did not have much experience with the digital learning and communication platforms. This was very much out of their comfort zone. So I met with teachers that wanted the extra help for a couple sessions right before school started, like the day before, I think, and simply just asked them to bring their questions. I showed them the basics of how to start their Zoom meeting, how to record, and how to share their screens. They attended a training on this prior, but having that smaller setting where I was able to tailor the speed of the instruction to their present levels and also go through and repeat steps was really beneficial. Teachers walked away nervous but relieved, and I felt a lot of pride the next day as teachers excitedly shared how well everything went after that first day of school was over. The building level instructional technology leader program has had such a positive impact in this district. Thank you for believing in it.
Thank you, Ms. Giles. Next, we are going to hear from Poplar Grove Middle School. She's the instructional coach, Ms. Emily Fye.
Good evening. My name is Emily Fye, and as Dr. Decker said, I'm the instructional coach at Poplar Grove Middle School. This is my first year as the building level instructional technology leader at PGMS. As technology has become such a key part of our classrooms in the past few years, I'm so grateful that our district has prioritized supporting teachers as they're constantly learning new programs, new devices, effective implementation of all sorts of ed tech tools constantly coming into our classrooms. Shelley Robinson and Amber Whitley are our district technology specialists, and they are outstanding resources for our building. They've been readily available for support with district-wide initiatives and rollout of new resources and programs. And their presence and leadership make it so much easier for me to provide day-to-day support for teachers as the building level leader. One of the ways that I have been able to supplement their support this year is with bite-sized PD on district-approved apps and websites that increase student engagement in the classroom. After collecting information from students about their favorite tech tools to use in the classroom, I pulled together 1 to 2 minute videos introducing these tools to teachers. So then teachers could see in a minute or two how to use tools for student communication, formative assessments, or simply increasing student engagement. Sometimes this quick video was enough for a teacher to go hit the ground running and get started. But other times it was a conversation starter for teachers that saw something they were curious about or wanted to learn more. And so I was able to work with them one-on-one or in a small group setting like Ms. Giles mentioned. Also, as Dr. Decker mentioned, each year our schools complete the steps necessary to become a common sense school. This certification shows that we're committed to building a community of digital citizens. The building level technology leaders have been able to facilitate this certification process in a way that works well for each of our buildings. Additionally, we have been able to share ideas across buildings about how to make this process go more smoothly. Having a built-in way to collaborate between buildings on initiatives like this has been extremely valuable. The building level instructional technology leader program has provided an opportunity for teachers to collaborate with colleagues in their buildings as well as colleagues across the district. It really encourages a sharing of ideas and expertise across classrooms and gives teachers in a variety of positions a chance to step into leadership roles. Thank you so much for your support of this program over the past few years.
Thank you, Ms. Fye, and that concludes the report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Decker. Dr. Esselina.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to take just a moment and give you an update on our bond-funded projects that we have going on right now. We have several works in progress. We'll start with the Poplar Grove Elementary Gym and the Performing Arts Center. The Performing Arts Center's interior finishes are nearing completion. There's a lot of cleaning going on. There's a lot of people wiping down surfaces and trying to get things ready. The stage floor has been installed. All the seats have been installed, which really makes the space look very, very different than with it being vacant for sure. And the Legacy Gallery is, I would say, 99% finished. Punch list by Wold HFR Architects and their engineers will be created on 4/14 this week, and then myself and others from the Franklin Special will do a scheduled punch list walkthrough on 4/26. The gym's interior finishes are also in their final stages. The bleachers are scheduled to be put in, I believe, tomorrow or Wednesday of this week. Again, punch list will start by Wold HFR and their architects on 4/14, followed by a punch list by the district on 4/26. The estimated completion date for both buildings is May of this year. The work at Liberty continues. We have completed all classroom renovations, so all the classroom phases are finished. The final phase is in progress right now, and it includes the cafeteria and the kitchen remodel. Food service is currently being done in the multipurpose room. They've converted the multipurpose room into a cafeteria, a makeshift cafeteria, which is it's serving fine, and it will continue that way throughout the remainder of the school year. And to note, there were several exterior doors that needed to be replaced and repaired, which is going to add significantly to the project. Estimated completion date for that work is fall of this coming year, fall of 22. The central office complex on our new site at Eddy Lane, if you recall, that work is divided into two phases. Phase 1 is the Facilities and Transportation Center, and it is divided into two sub-phases of Phase 1A and Phase 1B. Phase 1A is considered an exterior repair. All the design documents are finished. The GMP, the guaranteed maximum price for Phase 1A, is expected by April 19th, and the work is expected to begin by May 5th. Phase 1B is the interior work of the Transportation and Maintenance Center. All the documents, except for the construction documents, are pretty much complete. Those are due to NABOLTS on the 28th of April. The guaranteed maximum price for Phase 1B is scheduled to be turned in on August the 1st, submitted to us on August the 1st. Phase 2 is the construction of the actual central office. We are in the fledgling stages of designing that still. We expect to have the design documents to NABOLTS by the end of May and full set of construction documents by the end of June. Johnson Elementary is in preparations for getting a kitchen remodel, and we're still continuing to look at the roof. The guaranteed maximum price from NABOLTS arrived for the kitchen remodel late Friday afternoon and will be presented to the board at a later date. The GMP is the same number as estimated within the contract that you've already approved in a previous meeting. We're continuing to evaluate our options for the roof project. NABOLTS is currently bidding the project to get current market rates, and bid opening is set for April 21st. The ball field project is in full swing, pardon the pun. Underground storm pipe is completed. Baseball field is at grade and continues to work going down third base line. There's a hydro evacuation set to begin next week, and you're saying, what is hydro excavation? Excavation. It's basically digging holes with water. Mr. Stillings, I believe I saw a video of you digging a hole with a pressure washer. It's very similar, but hopefully more controlled than that video. Okay, and a little cleaner, I would think too. But they're going to do that because the field is going over our geothermal lines, so they don't want to take a bobcat or a backhoe in there and start digging. Underground electrical conduit is continuing to be installed for the concession stand and run to the field lights. Concrete work for the pavilion pad and the sidewalks is in progress, as well as the masonry work for the restroom. Duct work is going in both the concession stand and the restroom buildings, and that's to start, the installation of that will be this week. Irrigation work will begin at the ball field and around the ball field this month, and the estimated completion time for that project is fall of 22. At this time, I'd also like to give you an update on where we are with the sale of the Central Office Annex and the Fairgrounds properties. The 221 Fairground property, the 0.42 acres up the street from the Central Office Annex, will be on the market, is scheduled to be on the market tomorrow. So you'll be able to share that with your friends and family if they so chose to make that purchase. It ought to be available tomorrow. And the real estate team of Snowden, Stillings, Esslinger, Magley, and Friedman have been working very hard trying to establish a strategy to market the Central Office Annex. There's a lot of variables. There's a lot of things that we need to talk through and think about. We've looked at, and our goal, of course, is to produce the highest sale but also to be in line with the neighborhood. And that's the whole reason, if you recall, it's the whole reason we decided to move our operations to Eddy Lane, because the buses and the operations of that wouldn't be very neighborly, right? So that's one of the components of this. We've considered options of demolition of the building and selling vacant land. We considered options of selling the building as is with the property. Considered options of breaking off the Battle Avenue lots and selling them separately. So there's a lot to talk about. And if you've ever been in the room with Ms. Friedman or Mr. Magley, there's a lot to talk about. They have a wealth of experience, and we're learning from them. So we're working on the strategy with which we're going to take that building and that property to market at this time. We'll continue to meet. We have another meeting scheduled for next week to continue that work. Thank you. That's all. Any questions? I'll be glad to talk.
Quick question. We still are on for the ribbon cutting for the Performing Arts Center, May 20th
Yes, ma'am.
at 3:30?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
While we're talking about that, we were going to talk about that later on, but we can mention that now. What we would like to do, and Dr. Erickson came up with this idea, and we concurred, because if you remember, those of you that were on the board, when the Moore Gym ribbon cutting occurred, it occurred during school, so we could have children and students there, since it was certainly an appropriate opportunity to have students participate. Well, if you did both the opening or the ribbon cutting for the PAC and the gym at the same time, obviously 3:30 is after PGS dismisses. So what our plan is, and we'll send you something in writing, but to do the ribbon cutting for the gym early in the day so students can be involved. And I think, did we say 10, Dr. Erickson? Yes, sir. 10 o'clock in the morning. So I know that complicates your participation, but we hope, since you're hearing about that now, that maybe you can schedule a time to squeeze out of your paying job and get there at that time, and then come back for the 3:30 ribbon cutting. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I know it's, again, it doesn't fit well with your schedule, but we do think it's important, and I'm sure you agree, that to have children involved in that ribbon cutting and participation.
I had a question. With the PAC and that date, are we anticipating then we're not going to have any school events this school year in the Performing Arts Center? And my other thought was, when we do the ribbon cutting for the Performing Arts Center, would it be optional to have like all the drama, music teachers from all the different schools there for that, since it's a district-wide facility? Would that be something that we could look at unless that's a time of day when they wouldn't be available?
Everybody's invited. I mean, there's no set who can come and who cannot to the PAC. I mean, that's after school at everything. Well, the elementary schools will just dismissing at 3:30. But anyone's welcome to attend that ribbon cutting.
And are there going to be any events this year, or are we just saying not?
I think we're still talking about the 8th grade celebrations.
Nothing before the 20th.
Yeah, right. Everything would be after the 20th.
Going back to our dream team, I want to thank Snowden, Stillings, Esslinger for representing us well, keeping our interests in mind, and the wealth of experience you guys all have. It's appreciated that you are representing us.
Mr. Stillings?
I was just going to say, hold that thought and
Yeah. There have been some, I know excruciating is painful, but there have been some painful discussions.
Long.
And very lengthy discussions.
Thank you, Dr. Esslinger. Any other questions? All right, thank you, sir. The board was able to attend the National School Board Association Conference this past week, and so if there are any board members at this time who would like to share, please do so.
I would. I did not realize how much I missed attending. Like, for years, we've been going to the National School Board Association convention, and then COVID happened, and I hadn't been to one. I guess we didn't go in 2020. It's 19, and I didn't realize the impact that taking that away had on me personally as a board member, but until I was there and I was in it and sharing ideas with other people and being exposed to new things and new ways of doing things. And I just feel like you come back rejuvenated and energized and full of different perspectives. And I appreciate the opportunity of being able to attend a conference such as this. The conference, it's set up so you have like a general session speaker, and then you have individual classes. And one of the speakers was Damon John from Shark Tank, and he spoke on his journey and his inspiring story about getting funding for FUBU, his clothing line, and just how he grew things. And it was very grassroots effort. He gave a big old shout out to his mom because she's the one who got him going. He spoke also about the importance of an education in finance, how careers are changing, training for careers is constantly changing. However, children need a basic education in finance, and just really challenged us to come up with different ways to incorporate this into what we do presently. Or at least that's what I got out of it. They offer, and NSBA offers leadership classes, which is good because the past few years have been totally different for a school board member. Also, because of that, the classes offered this year were very different than classes offered 3 years ago. There were legal classes on masking and First Amendment. There's a lot of things going on nationwide regarding the First Amendment in schools. So I just really appreciate this always being, continuing education being a priority, but also being able to do it with other people from all across the U.S. who are going through similar things but have way different approaches. It's really nice. I'm a Southern girl, tried and true, but it's nice to get out of my Southern box and see different approaches from different cultures and different communities. And I thank you, Dr. Snowden, and Carol, all the work you did to line up our schedules, our itineraries, and everything. But and Dr. Snowden for making this a priority for our board.
I'd like to share. As I share with my kids, the beauty of conferences is we get a chance to learn about other school districts, who they serve, how they impact their community. Well, after that, then we are able to introduce them to our rich variety of our schools, our students, families, our educators, staff, as well as administration. And people are so intrigued about our schools, but they're also intrigued about our board. One of the pre-conferences that I did was on the key work of school boards, and being able to share with them, this is a book that I read in 2013 when I first came on as a school board member, and they've revised the book, and they were asking for additional input based off of the previous book. Well, it was amazing to be able to share about our board, how we're professional, how we work as a team, the longevity of our board, how we enjoy what we do, and how we're able to have access to other leaders within our community and the decision makers. And that enables us to have strong infrastructure so that both Franklin and Williamson County schools are just the beneficiary of all of the hard work that we do. And they just, I mean, people looked at me like I was an anomaly when I would say, yes, we get along, yes, you know, even when we have tough decisions and we don't wholeheartedly agree, or we abstain from something, we leave it at the end, so that it is a decision that's made as a team. And it just reminded me once again how appreciative I am that our community gives us their two most prized assets, their students as well as their tax dollars. And so I appreciate the opportunity to be able to go and share the knowledge that we have in our school district.
Just a quick comment, Mr. Chairman. I want to piggyback on something you said. It was nice to get back to an NSBA conference, but I think it's no secret, no hiding, that attendance was way down this year.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know the reasons why attendance was way down this year, and it probably has nothing to do with COVID. So although they offered some good breakout sessions, I was disappointed to see a few that continued to drive wedges. I really appreciated my time with you, Robin, in the learning to tell the story of your district. And if you all remember, that's one of the things that we tasked Dr. Snowden in doing year after year, is supporting the unique mission of the FSSD. Since we have so many construction projects going on, I spent a lot of my time with the vendors who managed a lot of outdoor areas, specifically with landscaping. And it gave me some good insight. I got a good breath of fresh air.
I'm going to share that I did enjoy that storytelling. That one quick thing I would share, not only thank you to the district for sending us and the opportunity to go, we hear crazy stories out there sometimes from other boards and other school districts, and they don't hear crazy stories from us, and so I'm so thankful for that. And one of the things that Tim and I were in together was telling your story, and just the importance of, if you don't tell your story, someone's going to tell it for you, and they're probably not going to tell it accurately. And so it's a real honor to share our story, and it also motivated me to think about how do we share our story with the public so that the community rallies behind us, which our community does. Because there are stories out there that are negative towards public education right now, and I think they get the highlight, they get the sound bites, they get all of that, and we want to make sure we share our stories. And Susanna, thank you for always sharing things, and Dr. Snowden, when you are able to be out in the community sharing stories. We also, Damon John was also very impressive. We heard from Liz Murray, who was a homeless high school student in New York, who ended up going to Harvard. And so if you want to read a good story, she has a book called Homelessness to Harvard. Her story was amazing as well. Again, someone you would meet and think, oh, she went to Harvard. And you immediately have an idea about what you think her life was like. And then you hear her story. And so again, telling your story, how important it is. I thought that was really good.
I'll add this. I too thought that Damon John keynote was impressive. I think the fact that you see him on Shark Tank, you know, he's grown FUBU to a $6 billion business. Like you were saying, he talked about his mom, Margot, who he's from Queens, New York, and she got $100,000 out of her house to help start his company. So I think a couple of things that he said were incredible. And I think we've all heard this, because you hear it like, wow, 50% of the students today will retire with a job that doesn't yet exist. That says something. So we're trying to create thinkers, critical thinkers. That's what you do. So I also thought, for all the things you said, I thought it was great to get out and meet other people, be in other sessions. And I think my wife is here to say she likes the fact that you guys took me away for so long too. No, it was great. I thought that the sessions were great too. Some great sessions that talked about how we can interact with our school board director, and I got a lot of good takeaways from that. So again, the classes were good. Keynote speakers were good. The exhibit hall. There's a big exhibit hall this time too. So we got a lot of things to think of. A lot of business cards were passed out. So I'm sure there'll be follow-up to see what things make sense for us, and some won't fit, but some will. That's all I have.
Thank you. My two classes, or several other classes, were school board leadership and also student achievement and student recruitment. So I kind of focused in those areas this time. But again, thank you for all of us going, and it was good to get out and get some more professional development that we hadn't been able to get out there in a couple of years. Any other comments? Thank you. Approval of board agenda, a motion?
Motion to approve the board agenda.
I second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Approval of consent agenda? Motion? Second?
A second.
Second. All right, all in favor? Thank you. Dr. Snowden, business before the board?
Yes, sir. Policy revision. Item number 1 is a policy revision. Board members' legal status 1.102. This is the second reading. Updates to this policy have been sent by the TSBA Director of Policy and Staff Attorney based on House Bill number 72, the state law on partisan school board elections. While this law does not currently impact every district, state law allows school board elections to be conducted on a partisan basis if at least one county primary board of a political party opts in. Previously, state law prohibited school board members from being elected on a partisan basis. Our current policy has policy language that reflects that prior requirement. There were no changes requested by the board on first reading. We recommend the approval of the second reading.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion, is there a second?
I second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
I have a point.
Still?
I made this last time, I'll make it again, that just because we passed this policy doesn't necessarily mean we agree with the law that was passed.
Thank you, sir. Motion. Second. Any other discussion?
I'm just checking. We do have to change our policy based on the new legislation that's come through.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Motion and a second. All in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Opposed? Okay. All right, Director of Schools report, Dr. Snowden.
Yes, first thing, Dr. Esslinger mentioned this in his comments on construction. We do have our first budget work session next Monday, but he did mention the fact that late Friday, we received the guaranteed maximum price for the Johnson Elementary cafeteria, or kitchen, excuse me, the kitchen area. So what I'm asking is, would the board be willing to to move that process along, to have a meeting prior to or after the budget work session to approve the guaranteed maximum price from Nabholt, so that we could move that process forward. And if you agree to that, what time would be best? Wouldn't start any earlier than, what was it, 5:30 for the, so we could start the meeting at 5:30 instead of the budget work session, and start the budget work session, I'm guessing no later, unless I don't foresee any huge questions related to that guaranteed maximum price, because it's pretty much right on line as what the estimated amount that we gave you when Nabholz was recommended, and we had that estimate. So would you like to do it before? I know sometimes traffic and getting off work creates a challenge of getting there at 5:30 to begin. Just want to get your thoughts about what your preferences would be.
And which day is this again?
Next Monday, the 18th. I may have said the wrong date, but it is next Monday. That's at the Teacher Center.
I mean, I think it's a good idea to do this meeting starting at 5:30, get it over with quickly.
Okay, and then
move right into the budget work session. I know I'm one of the ones that's usually running, but I can get to more by 5:30.
I'm good at 5:30.
if that's okay, we'll send out an announcement to the media so that they'll know that we're having a special board meeting prior to our budget work session. Thank you for that.
I have a quick question. We probably won't have any real estate business that needs board approval by then, will we? Probably not. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just going to see if we could kill two birds with one stone. Okay. Okay.
Well, I don't think I don't think we'll have it, and then we're not that far away after that from the May board meeting, so. But we do know we have the information related to the guaranteed maximum price of the kitchen at Johnson, so at this point, we'll just put that one item, if it's okay with the board. April 15th is a district holiday this Friday. All offices will be closed. Also, I hope you have on your calendar May the 5th. That's our district retirement celebration. This year's celebration will be a reception beginning at 5 and then the program at 6. It will be at Freedom Intermediate School. We're also planning to honor 3 legacy recipients. Plans are well underway for this event, and we look forward to this year's celebration of our retirees and as well as the legacy recipients. Our Young Scholars Institute, weeks of June the 6th through the 10th and 13th through the 17th. Registration is ongoing for that camp for our independent and highly motivated students who have completed 1st through 8th grade. And then we're hosting that camp at Freedom Intermediate again this year. Our summer learning camps, students are being invited at this time for attendance. Teaching and Learning is accepting teachers and staff for that camp. And then the budget process, the 3 dates for our work session, April 18th, May 16th, and June the 20th. The first session will concentrate on the operations budget for both the finance administration and teaching and learning. Revenue and personnel will be the focus in the second work session. And then the third work session will review the cumulative impact of the budget work from the first 2 sessions and hopefully facilitate the possible completion of the budget process. And if you have any issues with those dates, we've asked you to contact Carol so we can work with those. And then I mentioned the ribbon cuttings. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Comments? Decker?
Nothing else, sir. Thank you.
Yes, your packet has our typical HR and financial reports. The sales tax collections are 4.8% more than they were the same time period last year. I do want to bring to your attention, and I want you to note on your, if you would note on your sales tax collection report, that the April ADA adjustment is not reflected on this report. The state of Tennessee has yet to issue the actual weighted full-time equivalency percentages for this fiscal year. Therefore, our county trustee has not made the adjustment on any of the revenue sources we share with them. The weighted full-time equivalency percentages determines the portion we receive from all of our revenue sources shared with Williamson County, and will be the percentage we use to budget our revenues for the coming 22-23 fiscal year.
It generally comes in May, does it not?
The adjustment generally comes in April. Generally, you see it on this month's sales tax report. Last year, it was late. We saw it in May. This year, apparently it's late again, later than normal. Then we'll see it in May. Hopefully, we'll see it in May.
Any other comments or announcements from any board members? Dr. Snowden, anything else? No, sir. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.